Welcome to our video exploring a critical question: what happens if 10 key countries disengage from the United States? We'll dive into the economic, geopolitical, and social ripple effects of such a dramatic shift, examining how nations like China, Canada, and others shape America's stability. From supply chain chaos to weakened global influence, we'll uncover the stakes and why a total collapse is unlikely but disruptive. Join us for a concise, thought-provoking analysis of this complex scenario. 10. India. India is an emerging partner for the United States, providing technology talent, pharmaceuticals, and strategic alignment against China. If India disengaged, the United States would lose access to critical software development and generic drugs, slowing innovation and raising healthcare costs. Geopolitically, India's role in the Indo-Pacific counters Chinese expansion, and its withdrawal could shift regional power dynamics, isolating the United States. Trade disruptions would affect industries like IT and manufacturing, though the United States could seek alternatives. India's growing middle class and market potential make it a key economic ally, so a rift would hurt long-term United States interests. While India relies on United States investment and security cooperation, a deliberate break would cause mutual economic pain. The United States could adapt by diversifying partnerships, but the loss of India's strategic weight would complicate its global positioning, requiring significant diplomatic and economic adjustments. 10. 9. United Kingdom. The United Kingdom is a key United States ally, anchoring NATO and sharing deep economic and cultural ties. If the UK walked away, the United States would lose a vital partner in global diplomacy, weakening its influence in Europe and beyond. Economically, the UK's role as a financial hub and trade partner supports United States markets, and disengagement could disrupt investment flows and raise costs for goods. Militarily, the UK's intelligence sharing and joint operations bolster United States security, so a withdrawal would strain counter-terrorism and defense efforts. The United States could pivot to other allies, but the UK's unique role in bridging transatlantic interests is hard to replace. Mutual dependence on trade and security makes a break improbable, but even a partial rift would challenge United States leadership. Public sentiment in both nations would suffer, though adaptation is possible with time. 8. Taiwan. Taiwan is indispensable to the United States as the world's leading producer of semiconductors, powering everything from consumer electronics to military systems. If Taiwan disengaged, the United States would face crippling shortages, halting production in tech, automotive, and defense industries. Geopolitically, Taiwan's strategic position as a counterweight to China is vital, and its withdrawal would weaken United States influence in Asia, potentially emboldening Beijing. The United States could seek alternative chip suppliers, but Taiwan's dominance is unmatched, and rebuilding capacity elsewhere would take years. Diplomatically, a rift would signal a retreat of United States power, reshaping global alliances. Taiwan's reliance on United States protection makes a complete break unlikely, but even a partial disruption, like export restrictions, would cause economic chaos. The United States would adapt through innovation, but the immediate impact would test its technological and strategic resilience significantly. 7. Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia's role as a major oil supplier and geopolitical partner is critical for the United States. If Saudi Arabia walked away, the United States could face higher energy prices, impacting consumers and industries reliant on affordable fuel. The petrodollar system, where oil is traded in United States dollars, could face pressure, though a complete shift away is complex. Geopolitically, Saudi Arabia's alignment helps the United States counter Iran and maintain Middle Eastern influence, so a withdrawal could embolden rivals. The United States could tap domestic oil or other suppliers, but short-term disruptions would sting. Saudi Arabia's reliance on United States military support makes a total break improbable, as it would risk its own security. A rift would strain diplomatic ties and could spark regional instability, but the United States' diversified energy sources would prevent catastrophic collapse, though adaptation would be costly. 6. South Korea. South Korea is a vital United States ally, hosting military bases and supplying critical semiconductors for technology and defense. If South Korea disengaged, the United States would face a weakened position against North Korea and China, risking regional stability. The loss of South Korean chips would disrupt United States industries, from smartphones to military hardware, causing economic strain and innovation delays. Diplomatically, South Korea's alignment strengthens United States' influence in Asia, and its withdrawal could shift power dynamics toward rivals. The United States could seek alternative semiconductor sources, but South Korea's dominance is hard to replace quickly. Culturally, the strong ties between the two nations mean a rift would shock public sentiment. Mutual reliance on trade and security makes a total break unlikely, but even a partial withdrawal would challenge United States' strategic and economic interests, requiring costly adjustments to maintain its global edge. 5. Germany. Germany, a leading NATO member and economic powerhouse, is crucial for the United States in maintaining European stability. If Germany walked away, the United States would lose a key ally in countering Russian influence, potentially weakening NATO's cohesion. Economically, Germany supplies high-quality machinery and vehicles to the United States, and a trade cutoff would disrupt manufacturing and raise costs. Germany's leadership in the EU amplifies United States' influence, so a diplomatic rift could isolate the United States in global forums. The United States could turn to other European partners, but Germany's industrial and political weight is unmatched. A withdrawal would also strain transatlantic cultural ties, fostering uncertainty. While Germany depends on United States security guarantees, a deliberate disengagement would harm both sides. The United States could adapt but would face short-term economic and geopolitical setbacks, testing its leadership in the West. 4. Japan. Japan is a cornerstone ally for the United States, hosting military bases and providing advanced technology like semiconductors and machinery. If Japan disengaged, the United States would lose strategic footing in Asia, weakening its ability to counter China's influence. The absence of Japanese technology would disrupt United States industries, from automotive to defense, causing production delays and cost increases. Japan's significant holdings of United States debt mean a financial pullout could roil markets, though Japan's own economy would suffer too. Diplomatically, Japan's alignment with the United States strengthens global institutions, and its withdrawal could embolden rival coalitions. The United States could seek other tech suppliers, but Japan's unique role is hard to replace quickly. Mutual reliance on trade and security makes a complete break improbable, but even a partial disengagement would challenge United States influence and economic stability in the Pacific. 3. Mexico. Mexico's economic ties with the United States are critical, especially in automotive, agriculture, and manufacturing sectors. If Mexico walked away, the United States would face disruptions in supply chains for cars, electronics, and food products like avocados and vegetables. This could lead to higher prices and shortages, hitting consumers and industries hard. Mexico's proximity makes it a key partner in addressing migration and security issues, so a withdrawal could exacerbate border tensions and weaken cooperative efforts on crime and immigration. The United States could seek alternative suppliers, but replacing Mexico's role would take time and investment. Politically, a rift would strain North American unity, potentially pushing Mexico toward rival powers. However, Mexico's reliance on United States markets makes a total break unlikely. The United States would face economic pain but could adapt, leveraging its domestic resources to mitigate long-term impacts. 2. Canada. Canada is a vital partner for the United States, sharing a massive border and deeply integrated economies through trade agreements like NAFTA. A Canadian withdrawal would disrupt energy supplies, as the United States depends on Canada for oil and natural gas. This could spike energy prices, impacting industries and consumers. The automotive and manufacturing sectors, reliant on cross-border supply chains, would face production halts. Canada's role as a diplomatic ally strengthens United States' influence in global forums, and its absence could weaken North American unity. The United States could turn to domestic energy reserves or other suppliers, but the immediate economic shock would be significant. Socially, the close cultural ties mean a political rift could strain public sentiment. While Canada's economy depends on the United States, a deliberate disengagement would still cause mutual harm, making such a scenario improbable without extreme provocation. 1. China. The United States relies heavily on China for trade, particularly in electronics, semiconductors, and rare earth minerals critical for technology and defense industries. If China were to walk away, the United States could face severe supply chain disruptions, leading to shortages in consumer goods and industrial components. China's role as a major holder of United States debt means a sudden divestment could destabilize financial markets, though China would also suffer economically from such a move. Geopolitically, China's withdrawal from cooperation could embolden its influence in Asia, challenging United States' dominance in the region. The United States might struggle to replace China's manufacturing capacity quickly, as domestic alternatives are limited. However, mutual economic dependence makes a complete break unlikely, as China relies on United States markets for its exports. The United States could pivot to other partners, but the transition would be costly and disruptive, testing its economic resilience.